You're just moments away from a brand new episode of WTF Nations Radio's Pop Culture Warrior, hosted by the dynamic duo CQ and Radar. Pop Culture Warrior is your number one source for all things entertainment. If it's happening in TV, movies, video games, or comedy, they're all over it. And don't forget to say hi in the comments below. And while you're at it, let the boys know what you think and what you'd like to hear them talk about. Now strap in and get comfortable, because you're in for one hell of a ride. This is Pop Culture Warrior. Shots.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, welcome one and all. Today's February 16, 2021. This is episode 45 of Pop Culture Warrior, the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. I am CQ. I'm your pop culture tribute, and with me as always is our very own man in the bubble. You know, the voice of the unpop cultured. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Radar.
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
We're just a tad late, just a few minutes behind.
You're 15 minutes late, you're on time.
Right, if you're not 15 minutes late, you're not on time. Exactly.
Is that for engineers or tankers?
I don't know. I actually served it in the military. Oh man, yeah, we were having some with all this bad weather and the rolling blackouts and the internets and the servers and the cloud was all foggy. We couldn't get through. So we're here. We're ready. We're good to go. We thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate you all being here. Excited to have you guys with us. Let us know you're here. Let us know you're watching. Give us a shout in the chats. As always, our number is also on the bottom of the screen. And feel free to call in whenever the mood strikes you. Right?
Feel free to call in with your WandaVision fucking thoughts.
Theories, thoughts. Well, okay, look, right out the gate. Just get it over with. Get it done. Right out the gate. What'd you think of the last episode?
It was all right. I liked it. I did.
It was all right.
Question.
Sure. Go for it.
No, it was fine. I didn't. Okay. But I was, so we were kind of talking about it at work because I work with nerds now too, apparently. And
sure.
Okay, so Vision went to leave the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leave the Pentagon or whatever.
Which obviously didn't seem to work out for him so well.
No, not at all. But okay, so he was getting kind of ripped apart, right? What was the one thing that stayed on him? Did you notice? The one thing that didn't get affected.
The stone?
The Vision Stone, that's right.
The Mind Stone.
Mind Stone, whatever.
The Vision Stone.
He's shown more autonomy in the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously not being controlled by anybody, right?
Fair enough.
Does Wanda have enough power to recreate the Mind Stone in Vision?
Well, I mean, going back to Endgame, she had the power to destroy it.
She did.
So you got to think, if you've got something, if your power is strong enough to destroy it, could it not be powerful enough to recreate it? Maybe.
Maybe.
And maybe in doing so, that's what amplified her powers. Because obviously, even Pietro in the episode said, like, you couldn't do this kind of shit before. Like, where'd all this come from? I'm impressed. So, maybe that's what's up. Real quick, because I just wanted to point out, right? Because we were talking about the commercials. We got our first commercial again. I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna pull this up. Right. So if you look, let me here, right? This is the toaster, right? And if you kind of look at it, it has like the little almost dot in the middle, kind of like if you think of the toaster as Vision, you got the little Mind Stone right there in the center, right? You got
Vision Stone.
yeah, you got the Hydra Soak box is the Tesseract, that's your space. You got the watch that represents time, okay? You got the spilled liquid that represents the reality, that little oozy stuff. Now, the question is, what did this commercial represent? It was the first commercial that didn't have the man and woman involved that every other commercial had. It was animated as opposed to, you know, I say reality, but like a shot commercial to claymation, which was very in touch with the '90s, right? All
It
the
was very 90s.
Capri
It was
Sun
very 90s.
commercials and things like
Yes.
that. A bit dark as well.
Mhm.
The leading theory is that represents the soul, right? The soul gem. I mean, you can kind of see like the way the sun was shot and the skull and the body. It's whatever. And talked about magic, and people noticed that the shark kind of had the colors of Quicksilver, and they were saying how he talked about he had eaten the magic, and yada yada. There's so many theories and whatnots, but I just wanted to throw that up there real quick, kind of how it ties into our conversations about what it is. I will say the one thing that I'm super excited about, and I know some people have said they've lost interest in the show, and I understand that it happens. I get it. Not every show is for every person.
I'm not even like that much of a nerd about it.
Right.
When we're talking about these things, like I'm not the pop culture nerd.
Right.
I'm not like, we need to check out what's going on in the MCU this week.
Right.
It's not even me.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's and when I say this,
mm-hmm.
I'm saying this not as somebody who really gives a shit about canon or anything else about it, right?
Yeah.
I care enough like to watch it to like, oh, maybe this is going on, maybe not. But it's an interesting enough story. If this is good enough for me that it was standalone.
Right.
Okay. And this is when we talk about the movies and everything, you're like, well, what do you think is going to happen with all I care is it's good enough to be a good movie or a show
right.
that
does it stand on its own 2 feet?
I didn't start watching it because I'm a Marvel nerd. Does that make sense?
Sure.
And that's the way I look at and that's the way I'm going to look at anything else that comes on. That's the way I was with Mandalorian. I'm not a Star Wars fan. I'm not. I've watched some of them. I don't hate it, but I like the Mandalorian because of the story and all the things it had. Right?
Yeah.
It was not because I didn't start watching it because of the Star Wars thing.
I was gonna say we actually have a caller. I can tell because your bubbles is bugging out. Who's on the line?
Hey, it's Mike.
Hey, Mike calling in the show. What's up, Mike?
Not much.
What do you usually if you got something to say, it's something negative. So what you got?
Of course. My favorite thing to do is burst your bubble. No.
What you got?
I don't see the appeal in the show at all. I don't get it.
The WandaVision.
I got your text Friday. You're like, holy shit. So I'm expecting great things.
I
watched the whole episode, and the best thing was like the intro, and it's like Malcolm in the Middle. Like other than that, it's like we have Vision try to leave, and he slowly melts away. Like, okay, I just wasted an hour, like 40 minutes of my life watching this show, expecting greatness, and you let me down.
I mean, Radar. You are the intermediary. Yeah. You are the everyman. What do you have to say about the show as far as what you think about it?
I mean, have you watched the other ones though? Like, how could you not? Like,
yeah,
I don't know,
I watched
dude.
all
Like,
of them.
And this is the one that you were like, nah, sorry about it. Like, I could see like if you watch the first one or even the first two, and we're kind of like, man, this is kind of dumb. Like, this takes a little bit. It took a little while to warm up, but I don't know. Like, now I want to know what happens. I want to know who's really in charge of this. I want to know what's going to happen to Vision. I want to know what's going to happen to these characters that, like, why are the kids fucking growing up? Like, why are the kids now like 13 years old and they were like born yesterday? Kind of, you know what I mean? Like, these are the things that I'm kind of curious about, and I want to know the answers to these.
Yeah, Mike, do you typically not enjoy kind of shows that are like, mystery or intrigue or drama? I mean, because that's one thing, because this isn't the typical Marvel formula, right? It's not all action and all comedy.
Yeah, no, I enjoy those type of shows, but I just like there's not really mystery in this show. It's like we know what happens.
Vision's
dead.
Oh.
Wanda's having like a break,
right.
PTSD or whatever, mental breakdown. So like, there's no, I don't know. I feel like they're just feeding us filler until they can come up with something better. Like, we got this. We'll put it out there. People will, make do until we can come up with something better.
Personally, I
don't think it's a story we need to see.
Sure.
Like, it's a cool concept. Like, okay, we're gonna throw back to everyone's favorite shows. Like, okay, but there's no advancement of a story.
I mean, I slightly disagree. I disagree. I
very much disagree with that. I think this is telling. I think this is actually captivating in a way, like that. It's not just the 2 hours of fucking. Oh, here's your show. Here, we're gonna. Here's it. That's one thing I've faulted so far with the MCU movies is you start out very quickly with here's your good guys, here's your bad guys. They're gonna battle 2 or 3 times. The good guys are gonna fall back a little bit, and then they're gonna win in the end. You know what I mean? Like we still don't really know who the bad guy is in this.
Yeah,
I mean, there's theories. You might have ideas as to who the bad person is, who it's not. I don't think it's as cut as dry as Wanda is sad and made this fake universe.
Yeah, I think there's more. I think there's more to it.
Mm-hmm. And I think that all of these little
I think
things,
that's exactly what it is. I don't know.
I really don't. I really don't. And I'm not like a big fan. In fact, I'm kind of like this. To me, is actually more fun than the movies.
Yeah, it's something different. You have to like it or hate it. You have to give Marvel credit for saying, okay, let's try something a little different. We're gonna keep with the movies. We're gonna keep doing the stuff that everybody loves, but let's mix it up. Let's get what's more American than the sitcom? You know what I mean? Like let's mix it up. Let's try something. I think that they have a big idea of what they want to do in the movies in the future. And instead of spending 20 minutes of the beginning of the movie trying to explain how we got to here, I think they built a show around, because I think how this ends, there's going to be this climax, this epic thing that happens that forever changes the face of the MCU kind of event, this cataclysmic event. They needed that so that they can jump off into the ideas they had for the movies coming up, like Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange 2. And so this whole show came about as like almost like a fever dream, because they're like, okay, well, we're going to start this movie and there's, multiverse people. So how do we explain this just happened? And then they kind of built WandaVision around that idea. Like, who could theoretically make this a reality? And the person with, reality bending powers. But of course, she didn't have that. Even though she has that in the comics, she didn't have that in the movies. She only had the mind melding and the telekinetic and whatever. So they needed some way to pivot her so she's more like her comic book counterpart. So something happened. I don't buy into it. She's sad and now 1 billion times more powerful. That doesn't happen. Something happened. There's more to it. There's more involved. I'm not smart enough to say I know what it is, but I've got, some ideas. I see people talking in the chats about Agnes and how she's not affected the same way other people are. I definitely think she's involved somehow. People, the conspiracy theorists online are talking about Mephisto and the Nightmare and the Devil and all these things. And I think they're going to try to keep it a little bit more simple than that. Because that's really far out there, but I definitely think there's more to it. But I appreciate your stance on it, man. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's okay. I'm gonna keep watching.
Like, why now? Why now? You've given us everything. You had the greatest characters available to develop stories with, and now you're gonna slowly draw out.
Give us the slow burn.
With 2 of the most unpopular characters. You might as well give us Hawkeye.
He is getting a series.
Come on, Vision and Wanda are 2 relatively unknown characters who had little to do. They were thrown in late 70s, 80s when comics were struggling. Come on,
yeah. I mean, hey, look, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. They haven't let me down. I definitely think the show has gotten more enjoyable every week, and now we know the next 3 episodes are each an hour long each, minus the 16 minutes of credits at the end. But the each episode they said is an hour long for the final 3 episodes. So you're getting that kind of Marvel movie feeling, bigger even, like, right? Because even Endgame, I think, was like
nothing
3 hours.
big's happening though. That's the thing. Like, at least Game of Thrones, like some people got killed that I didn't think were gonna get killed.
I think we're getting there.
It's like nothing is happening. Like, okay,
well, that's just it. Like I don't know. Like I said, they're actually telling a story. This is like, I think Marvel's kind of been bad about that by not telling these stories in their feature films. They haven't really told the stories. And they're getting a chance to do that. They can do. They still have 3 more out. 3. That's like as long as Endgame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They still have a whole Endgame amount of time to do the fighting and the battles and all the other bullshit.
With 2 characters compared to Endgame's 750.
Right. And and then they can finish the story that they started to tell and delve into like all of these. You know as well as I do. They're not going to just spend this much time and money to be like, oh, Wanda, Thad, bye, see ya, and then fucking take off. Like everything they do is like calculated and all of these things. And whether it's to bring mutants into because that's been a couple different theories I've read.
You are hard on that. It's gonna be
I
mutants.
really fucking think so, dude. It's time for that shit.
It's time.
I want it, but I don't think they're gonna waste it on this. Yeah, I think this show was thought up like 2 years ago before they even had those characters. So
they're the first mutants.
No.
All these people in there because
that is
DNA,
right.
New mutants.
Right.
Well, in the comic books, Wanda and Quicksilver are like Magneto's kids.
Yeah,
which,
they are mutants.
He's the X-Men's nemesis, and they changed it because they didn't own him. To, some whatever communists or wherever they are, Russian, made up Russian country. But
that's what's happening. That's what I mean. Like they're not just like, well, we're just gonna like make up Malcolm in the Middle and the fucking like no. Like why the fuck would they do that? They're not. They have better things to do. And with the coronavirus and all the other bullshit going on, they're like, well, when's some bullshit?
And this is Radar. Recall, we had this conversation well before the show aired, and you said, man, I just hope it's good. And I said, look, there's too much riding on this. There's too much. Because they're not just saying, hey, here's a standalone. This isn't the Mandalorian. That is just that it's connected to the universe, but it stands by itself. If it fails, it affects nothing. No. This is a pivotal anchor point for the continuation of the movie universe. They've said it. What happens here in Disney Plus will affect the movies.
And this is how they introduce mutants into the MCU. That's why it's so.
Let it go, Radar. Let it go.
So, mutants are like 4 years. They're not going to come for like another 4 years. They already have everything plotted out. They're going to do Fantastic Four before they do it.
Yeah. I agree with Mike on that one. If anything, I think there's been references with her talking about my astro engineer friend. I think that could be a nod. They mentioned astronauts in like the 3rd episode. They mentioned astronauts that were missing. I feel like those could be nods to like a Fantastic Four, which we'll see prior to X-Men actually. But we did talk about this I think last week, where I do think there's an opportunity for them to kind of very subtly, every movie, every show, just kind of almost like in the background, introduce one of the X-Men. Just as kind of this sub B plot of like, there's this chick that walks through walls or something. And you're like, oh shit, that could be what's her name, you know?
Yeah.
Or things like that.
Yeah, they were stuck in Westview, and all of a sudden now they can walk through walls and shit.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: do you think they're gonna lead this show right into Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
No. Well, okay. So timeline wise, yes. We finished this show, and like a week later, Falcon and Winter Soldier picks up as far as our reality.
But you think they'll be going on simultaneously? Do you think that the end of WandaVision will lead into an episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I do not. And the key behind that is because you have to remember the original timeline, which was Falcon and Winter Soldier were set to premiere before WandaVision. And that was when they were both shooting simultaneously. So unless they did massive rewrites and reshoots, there's no way they're going to flip what they had. Now, that being said, I think that they're going to say that show, like I think the original idea was Falcon and Winter Soldier happens before WandaVision. And then because of, coronavirus and all that.
Something in that at least.
Yeah,
Wanda.
they shifted it once. I think they're going to say things are happening simultaneously. So while this is happening in WandaVision in New Jersey, on the other side of the world in Madripoor and all these other things, here's what Falcon and Winter Soldier are up to. Very much kind of like, remember when we had, what was it, Infinity War happened first, and then we got Ant-Man and the Wasp, and they're like, wait a minute, everybody's been snapped away. And then right at the end of Ant-Man and Wasp, you see that post-credit scene where they get snapped away. Yeah, like this just happened. So I think it's that kind of a situation where they're telling two different stories that when you look at them from 5,000 feet up, they're actually happening simultaneously. So that whatever happens at the end of WandaVision does technically happen at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I think that's how they'll tie it all together, because then that's going to lead into like Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange 2. And we know the ramifications.
I was thinking Wanda was going to tie into Doctor Strange, and then Falcon and Winter Soldier is just kind of like its own thing. Maybe another movie they'll tie it into.
Partially, yeah.
You know, her telekinesis and stuff, and if she really has this big town under siege, like who can stop her? You know, Doctor Strange could. Well, he's second most powerful person besides Doctor Doom. So
yeah, right,
you know,
exactly. So
I don't think it would lead into that movie over anything else.
Yeah. So
or the X-Men could come in.
The X-Men have nothing to do with this.
They're just gonna cast Hugh Jackman again. We don't want Hugh Jackman back.
Oh man, listen.
I mean,
I like he's friends with Ryan Reynolds, but he wasn't a good Wolverine. Personal opinion.
Yeah.
Should have went with the Mission Impossible villain guy. I think he would have been better. But anyways.
Remember the first guy they were talking to about Wolverine?
I'm Danny DeVito as Wolverine.
Danny DeVito as Wolverine. He was a legitimate contender back in the day, which is sad. So sad. Or like Scott saying in the comments, it could be, like we were talking about, it could be like a prequel situation where one takes place before the other, even though it happened after the other, and yada yada yada. But anyway, all right, Mike. Well, hey, thank you for calling in. Thank you for letting us know what you think. I hope you keep watching it. I really feel.
Stupid.
What?
I will. My kids
stupid,
like
so you
it.
love
Plus, there's nothing else to watch. I mean, what else am I gonna watch? This Is Us.
Yeah, This Is Us. Boring.
What about the Rock Show?
Yeah.
It's on now. I was watching it. It's great. They had like Andre the Giant and stuff. I had to stop it to call in this damn show.
Fuck, if it's up to me, I'd watch that shit right now. I thought about
Wait, it's on right now? Okay, we're gonna call the show right now.
Yeah,
We're canceling the show. It's on right now. We gotta go.
That's why I was watching our show. It's like,
why are you watching this? You could be watching something funny and entertaining. God. Well, we appreciate it, Mike, man. Hey, let me know what you think. Or, post a comment what you think of future episodes, because I do feel like it's gonna get better, and I do feel like it's gonna end in one of the most holy shit moments of the Marvel Universe to date. I'm marking it. I'm calling it. It's gonna happen.
I doubt that.
All right. We'll see. I'm sure in 3 weeks you'll be happy to call me on my BS. So. All right, buddy. You take it easy, man. Thanks for joining. Radar. So, with that said, it's not mutants. Of all the likely possibilities, Heath says, bring in the Great Lake Avengers. I mean, I think that could happen before mutants are introduced in the next 3 episodes of WandaVision. It ain't gonna happen.
Know, son. You don't even know.
It ain't gonna happen. I don't want you to get your hopes up, bro. It ain't gonna happen. Ain't happening.
Already up. My hopes are already high.
All right, let's talk about what else is happening in the world of TV. How about that?
Young Rock. Talk about that.
Yeah, I do want to talk about the Rock show, but I haven't finished it yet, so I want to finish it before I can talk about it.
Because it's on like right the fuck now. How are you gonna finish it?
Well, so I'm saying I might have been dabbling while we were down. I might have had it on the side. Whatever.
You got it on behind your computer and shit.
Whatever.
Like, hey, what's up, man? Hey, you gonna talk again? Or were you like,
sorry about Rock. Yeah, Scott says they said the Snyder cut wasn't happening, but here we are. That's true. We live in a day and age where, my God, enough pressure from the internet, and anything can happen. So,
well, I mean, in all fairness, they've already
Snyder
fucking
cut.
fixed it.
Yeah, release the Snyder cut. So,
How they filmed it.
one of your favorite topics. I've got some insider gossip. The Mandalorian.
Oh, Mandalorian.
Season 3 begins shooting April 5th. They begin shooting Mandalorian season 3. Now, this is not
everyone's going to be there. Let's be honest.
Don't beat me to the punch. This is not the Boba Fett side story piece that they're also doing, which is actually currently filming. This is the good and proper Mandalorian season 3 starts shooting April 5th, and with it being released later this year. Now, as you alluded to, they're down one cast member, one Cara Dune, Gina, whatever her name is, Cara Lavalin. I'm terrible with names, but yeah, she done said some shit. She says I'm done some shit and said some shit and got herself removed.
She got bored.
Yeah,
Is she gonna get unemployment for that shit? Do you get unemployment?
I mean,
how's that work?
she probably could, but from what I've heard, she's already landed herself a gig. Apparently, they're going to be allowing, like, some company picked her up to, like, write, direct, and produce her own
porn.
Something.
Right? Was it porn?
I mean, I'm
Think of all the
sure.
Star Wars nerds that would totally fucking do. She could be rich.
I'm sure
beyond
the offer
all
would
this.
stand for her to do adult filming if that were her choice. No one's saying that's her choice.
Well, do that before you get fat and old, honey. Then direct.
I mean, I don't know. Business is business. But yeah, so that's Mandalorian. It's from insider sources. There was talk of, will she be replaced as far as someone else picking up the character name and then, pulling a whole like Terrence Howard, like, hey, Rhodey, you look different. Like, just kind of like, but no, the insider sources say that they're not going to replace her. They're just her story. That character is done. Even though it was a bit of a fan favorite.
You could actually maybe allude to her a little bit, be like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the way season 2 ended on the, it wouldn't be that hard to write her off right where she.
Absolutely, no. She went off on her own thing, and
she
fare thee well.
Whatever.
The force be with you.
She got promoted or whatever, and now we don't see her because she can't deal with likes of Mando.
Yeah. Chris says, what happened to the new Spawn movie? You know what, man? I haven't heard much about it in a while. The last I heard was straight from Todd McFarlane himself, the creator of Spawn. And he was like, look, we're going to do this thing, but we're going to do it my way, and we're going to do it right, and we're going to do it justice. And no studio wants to work with him to bring Spawn to life because he's apparently being a huge diva about it. But I mean, hey, it's his character. It's his character. Like, if he wants to make sure it's done right. Here's the thing. People knock, was it the 90s Spawn movie? It's one of my favorite movies. I loved the ridiculousness of it. Michael J. White, John Leguizamo. I loved it. Martin Sheen, like the whole, I dug it. I super dug it. I remember I had like the Spawn soundtrack on cassette tape. I was that guy. Mike, you met Todd McFarlane. Oh shit, Mike in the chat says he met Todd McFarlane.
Not Seth MacFarlane.
Not Seth MacFarlane. Todd McFarlane.
Oh well, shit.
It's his twin sister.
I was like, why do we work with him? He's hilarious.
He's hilarious. But yeah, so that's the latest as far as I know. I'm gonna dig into it, man. I'll let you know what I dig up. And yes, I'm that old.
Spawn movie or about Mandalorian? I'm confused now.
The Mandalorian, everybody knows that. The Spawn movie. I'm gonna see what I can dig up on that. I'm gonna talk to my inside sources. Sorry, there's so many chats coming in. I'm trying to keep track with you guys. Bob says, did the little paratrooper ever get a name? We never named the little dude.
No,
he's just gonna
do that. We were gonna have a competition.
Yeah.
Remember?
Nobody submitted any entries. He's just gonna be little dude. Little dude. That's it. Little dude.
Troop. Hey, troop.
LD. Little dude. There you go. His name is now LD. Everybody introduce
Little D is what my wife calls me.
Little D.
Anyway.
Sorry about
Okay.
it.
Sorry about it.
Little
Anyway,
yeah.
it was
So.
Valentine's Day. We didn't talk about Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah. How'd Mrs. Radar enjoy Little Radar? Yeah.
Oh, flavor. No, my daughter we had a soccer tournament this weekend.
Oh.
So we didn't really get to do we were just kind of like, well, we gotta run everywhere. Like we got like kids everywhere, fucking soccer tournaments. So we didn't really get to do anything. But
Yeah.
I was like, and then I don't know, I got her some little stuff and she got me like an electric lunchbox, and we're really practical like with our gifts.
Sure. You want things that they're gonna use, not just
Yeah,
have.
like legit. If I went and bought Mrs. Radar flowers, she would have gotten angry with me. Legit. Honestly, when I was like, I don't know what to get your Valentine's, she's like, do not get me flowers. They're dumb.
Yeah.
So like I got her stuff for the garden. I got her some like the seed starters and a bunch of seeds and
Nice.
like all the stuff. And
That's a thoughtful gift.
Well, because she like that was her major in college was botany for one.
Right.
And then for two, like we have a big old garden. We have like a half acre, so we have a giant garden and all this stuff. But so like she's been, and this is the time of year when you start thinking about that kind of stuff. So I got like tomatoes and stuff like that. Like I think I got her tomatoes and corn and peas and beans and all kinds of stuff. So we can, so we'll start plant or get our seeds started going inside pretty quick.
Nice.
And then everyone knows by now I drive truck all day. So she got me it's like a miniature crock pot, basically, that you plug into your cigarette lighter and it keeps your food warm.
Nice. That's cool.
Really cool. It's really practical. It's really cool. I like it. It's one of those things too. Like we get each other gifts that we would never get I would never go buy that.
Yeah.
Right. So that's like what our gifts are.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. She would probably go buy that. If I didn't get it for her eventually, she'd be like, I need seeds, and go buy the shit. But I know what she wants. I just buy it. She's like, oh, this is great. You know what I mean? She probably was looking. I got her a necklace. Her birthday is the 10th.
Oh wow. So it's a dual.
Yeah, but she makes it very clear that those are two separate days and she gets separate presents. But she's like, it doesn't need to be like, I don't need to buy her like a couple grand worth of presents in 2 days.
Right.
Just buy me something nice for one, and we'll call it.
Yeah.
And I got her some like clothes and stuff and all this other stuff she's been looking at. So I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah.
And then I bought some stuff for me.
Yeah. Well, Mrs. CQ apparently is in the chats, and she says that was a very nice gift. So look at that. Oh. You got a thumbs up from Mrs. CQ.
Thanks, Mrs. CQ.
Yeah. Mike says for the little dude, Papa Squat.
Yes.
Papa Squat. That's adorable. Was it Kaz said he just realized that the bobblehead slightly bobbles. Yeah, if you pay close attention as it's rotating, the head actually bobbles a bit. It's got a little wobble, little weeble wobble. So yeah, a little thing you can spot. Mike said, what did Mrs. CQ get me? Not chocolate anuses. No, sir. Only special friends get me chocolate anuses. Not Mrs. CQ. I almost said something very inappropriate, but that's he says he gets out of Valentine's Day because it's his son's birthday. Yeah. Good for you, man. Lucky you. But anyway.
It's Valentine's Day. I'm gonna wreck your vagina. What's up?
I'm gonna wreck your vagina. You can't really tell what it is, but right there, that's actually what Mrs. CQ got me for Valentine's Day. It is a little collectible Back to the Future Marty McFly like collectible action figure in a cool little collector case thing. So it's now up there on the collection thing. So
that's what we should name the little
dude. Little dude?
Yeah.
What?
We should name him Marty.
Marty.
He's got the shakes.
No, you did not. No, that's horrible. Strike that from the record. I want that permanently removed. We're editing that out.
Come on, it's funny.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness.
name of
Yeah, Commander Weeble Wobble. I like it. I like it. Anyway, you know what? This has gone completely off the rails. This has gone completely off the rails. I want this whole episode stricken from the record.
Whatever. It's just on Facebook. It's not even on Twitter or nothing. We're just like, nope.
Oh no, we're live across everything. By the way, yeah,
are we?
We are across.
Sorry about it.
We are across the world right now. We are far reaching, and everyone is saying too soon, radar.
No, one person said too soon. Everyone else was like, yes.
I wanted to ignore the rest.
Private Fox. It's been better.
Oh my God, you're killing me over here. You're killing me. Moving on to further TV news. Yeah, moving. I'm gonna quote moving. So, yeah, I guess there. Mike's right. I guess that there goes our Mike J. Fox interview. Thanks a lot, Radar. His people are gonna pull out now. Well, so much for that. So yeah, so there's a new show coming to CBS very soon. It's in the same vein as like Young Sheldon, Mom, Bob Hart's Abishola, Be Positive, all these kind of quirky, out of touch sitcom, rom things. I got a picture for you. Hang on. Where'd I put it? Come back here. There you are. Here it is. So this, I think you guys especially will enjoy this. Coming straight from the Big Bang Theory team, this is a comedy about a Marine veteran and his Afghan interpreter adjusting to life in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, based on the never-ending war in Afghanistan, this show is about a Marine Corps veteran struggling to readjust to life to home after his wartime service and his friendship with the newly immigrated interpreter who served alongside him in Afghanistan. It's going to be called The United States of Al. It's set to premiere not Alf, Al,
Oh.
A-L. United States of Al is set to premiere April 1st. It's going to be in the 9:30 Thursday night time slot, which is, that's big money for CBS comedies. It's executive produced by Chuck Lorre, who's obviously been in everything from 2.5 Men, Big Bang Theory, Mom, all those. It's created by the Big Bang writers. And it will be the first military-themed sitcom to air since Fox gave us that terrible show Enlisted back in 2014, which was
I don't remember that.
So bad. I
don't remember that.
It lasted not even a season. I had such high hopes for it because it was a comedy look at, the Army life, and yeah, it was bad. It was like basically
the comedy look at the Army life gets us banned from Michael J. Fox's website or something. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was basically like if you took a really poor like Office spinoff and put them in fatigues. Like it was just not good. You got Parker Young starring as Riley, the young Marine who's having trouble, reestablishing. This is going to take place in Ohio, of all places.
Yeah, when I think Afghanistan vets, I think Ohio.
Yeah, exactly. Marines especially. And then you have Adhir Kalyan, who's going to co-star as Awalamir, aka Al, as in the United States of Al. He's the Afghan interpreter who arrives to start a new life in the U.S. of A. He was last seen playing opposite David Spade in the hit series Rules of Engagement. So if you watch that show, you'll recognize him from there.
That's where I recognize him from.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
That's our.
I was like, he looks familiar.
Yeah. So you I mean, these are both guys that have a pedigree in sitcom comedy, and so I want to say like it's cringy, and that I don't think it's gonna be, but you've got two decent comedy actors. You've got the writing team behind Big Bang Theory. You've got the producer behind some of the biggest, comedy hits of all time. I mean, it's almost that Disney too big to fail kind of thing, which will hurt it so much if it fails. But yeah,
I think I do. Here's what I think with it, and this is okay. I don't think they're trying to reach the veteran community with it.
Right.
No.
Right.
And I don't think it's going to bode well. I mean, I might watch it.
It's the civilian slant on military adjustment.
Yep. Which with oftentimes I don't like watching.
Mm-hmm.
It honestly, I don't. When it's like, oh, this is look at the military. I don't care.
Yeah.
I find whatever. But I mean, when you think about it, you know, especially downrange Afghanistan veterans are such a small proportion of the United States in general. I don't give a shit what I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone like my mom's probably gonna love it. You know what I mean? Someone who liked Major Dad is probably going to love this show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That type of thing, and it's gonna be funny enough. I think it's gonna captivate this. Same with, I mean, I don't know, 2.5 Men. Charlie Sheen's always kind of whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean,
like it'll find its audience. I think it'll find its audience.
Theory. When you look at Big Bang Theory, for example, okay, kind of nerdy, right? But
Super
it wasn't just about the nerds. It was about the story and all, and being funny, and you could laugh at things without being a physics major.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I think it's going to be the same kind of. It's going to be kind of slapstick, kind of dumb, kind of whatever, awkwardness, funny, kind of, you know. And it's not going to be bad. But it's not going to. I don't know. It's got potential to actually be just as good as Big Bang Theory as far as numbers go. Is it going to be something that's down my kind of alley? Probably not.
I think your boy Mike's taking a shot at you. He says the same people that like this will probably like WandaVision. You know.
No, I like WandaVision. I'm probably not going to like this at all.
But no, I agree.
Plus their beards look how much better our beards look. At least get like. Real beards on people.
I mean, you know, yeah. There one other co-star that I didn't mention. There Dean Norris, who you would recognize from like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. He was Hank, you know, the DA or not the DA, the was he DEA agent. Hank Schrader. Hank Schrader. He was the big bad's brother-in-law. So he's going to co-star in some facet. They haven't said what he's playing, but bet is that it's going to be some type of neighbor, boss, you know, something.
They have to have like some parental figure, like his platoon sergeant or something. They're going to have someone like that.
Yeah.
All these shows always have like the mentory figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
and some 25-year-old they cast as his first sergeant or some shit. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or they go hard the other way. They hire some 80-year-old dude that's like, hey, staff sergeant, and you're like, wow, he would have served in like Nam, dude. They're not in the same age category.
What they're gonna do is they're gonna cast some dude. They're gonna cast some dude, probably about the same age. We'll say mid-20s, 30s, right? As his first sergeant, and they're going to be the best fucking buddies in the world. I'm telling you, as a Marine, I had, I don't know, probably 5 first sergeants in my time in the Marine Corps. I don't know a single one of their first names. As far as I know, their first name was first sergeant. You know what I mean? And there's somebody in the army like, hey, Top, no, you called him first sergeant. He was the first sergeant.
Yep.
Like, it's not like you were not buddies with your first sergeant in the Marine Corps. It's a whole different fucking... It's a whole different world than the Army or anything else.
Wait, you think I was just buddies with my first sergeant?
No, but I'm just saying, like, I knew cool first sergeants in the Army. Like, people, you were not scared to see the first sergeant sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be like, hey, I vividly remember that. Like,
I had a first sergeant that used to chase us around with tasers. He just got off on tasing us, and so literally, you see him, you just start running because he would, and it's like the old school, like the shooting out prong tasers.
You, like he would like. That's kind of playful, right?
As we're twitching on the ground, super playful.
It's slightly playful. It's kind of fun, right? My first sergeants, I would be more afraid of getting pistol whipped by them. Like if you said anything other than like "Good morning, first sergeant," like the only interactions you ever had with the first sergeant is when he was like taking your rank. Generally, you know what I mean? Like or standing in front of the formation. Like that was the only time you saw the first sergeant. Yeah. Like so you didn't like, oh okay, well whatever. Like. It's a whole different but in this show they're gonna have was his first sergeant. He's gonna come in and everyone's gonna be like, hey guys, and they're like, hey first sergeant Tom or what the fuck his name's gonna be.
And like, I really care about my privates. I come see them each individually.
Make sure my privates are gonna be shaven. All right then. Okay, well, all right. But I mean, just they're gonna have this like whimsical character, and he's gonna be like the old first sergeant, but it's gonna be like all fun. He's gonna come over and like hang out and drink coffee with him, be like, I remember when we were in Kandahar, and you bought me a Snickers. And
I want to point out for anybody watching, Radar has no inside information on this. He's just
I'm
guessing.
About the fucking mouth. Am I gonna be wrong?
I
mean,
soon enough, April 9th, we'll know for sure because
it's more likely than WandaVision having mutants probably, but
I could get on that train. Let's say we take a little break and then when we come back, we got so much more news. I got a bunch of other cool stories, some casting news, some things that are happening, some shows that are coming back, some new details, first reveals. I got a bunch more for you guys. Stay with us, and we'll be back in a few short minutes. See you at the break. Shots.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
Right here, right now. I'm better without you. You're always on my mind. Right here, right now. I'm better without you. I've got this for some time. But right now, I know that I'm better on my own.
Call the show now at 415-889-8367. The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back. We are back. Made it on time. Mr. Radar, you with me, buddy?
What's up, everybody?
There he is. There he is.
Got my fucking jazz hands going and shit.
Just handing it up. All right, so where we left off, we were talking TV news. We were talking the new sitcom about the Marine and the interpreter, and it's coming out to CBS. So that's great. That's all good.
Are they gonna have it where the interpreter freaks out when the dog comes in? The guy's got like a dog, and the interpreter's like, "Oh no!" and he like shoots him because he thinks he's a rabbit.
Well, people are calling you out in the chats as being one of the consultants for the show. So,
Right now,
I mean,
they made me
wink,
cut the dog
wink.
shoot.
We don't know. Wink.
They made me cut the dog shoot. Sorry about it.
Speaking of consultants and inside guys, if you guys saw on the Facebook page, we got some behind the scenes pictures from the filming of The Walking Dead World Beyond.
Yeah.
They had already shot a bunch of stuff, and I cannot confirm nor deny where they're currently filming, or we might or might not have a guy involved who's snapping some pictures. So you're getting some world exclusive, not seen footage, not seen pictures of what's going on behind the scenes. They were supposed to start shooting last Friday, but because of the big, cold snap and ice storms and all types of stuff that was happening, they delayed it. I think they picked it up again today. So hopefully we'll have some new pictures coming in soon. So if you'd like to see that, check out our Facebook page, Pop Culture Warrior on Facebook. And you'll see some cool behind the scenes pictures of what's going on. I also have
There's been some really cool shots on there.
Yes, definitely. Some really cool things. I know we posted one. It was like a map, and then there was a follow-up picture where they had weathered it because it looked, I mean, it was brand new. They just made it. And then they weathered it to look like it's been sitting there for years, as the show would be. And I do have a couple of buddies of mine who are, or I shouldn't say, I do know some people who are going to be shooting some scenes with some people from some shows here soon, and will be giving us the inside scoop of what's happening behind the scenes of those shoots as well. Name dropping someone like, I don't know. Let's just as it, like Rosario Dawson, just to throw a name out there. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm going to say this though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what makes me very happy about this is they are shooting new shows and shooting new material.
They
and
are
that is
shooting
big. I'm
stuff.
happy at that. They're like, nah, I'm sure they're being careful. There's social distancing and all of the things and whatever. But they are bringing us more new content, and that's amazing. That's awesome. I'm happy at that.
The world is starting to right itself. Things are starting to get back in place, and it's a nice feeling to have. And like you said, for us to have things to talk about, things to look forward to, other than here's the latest cancellation.
Things to talk about. It was Wanda fucking Wonder Woman 84 has been pushed back again for the
84th time. But yeah. So moving on, let's keep going. TV news, because I got a bunch more for you.
Keep going.
And so with the latest, we've been talking about this show for a while. They've been trying to get it off the ground, and it's been greenlit and work. Remember we talked about HBO's The Last of Us. They were turning the video game The Last of Us into an HBO show. You recall?
Yes, I do.
Well, we have confirmation, because remember we were speculating on who would be cast as both Joel and Ellie. We have confirmation at last who has been cast to play the roles. I'm going to share that with you now. Always forget to queue up these pictures as we talk about them. But here you go. Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian himself.
I'll say that name sounds very familiar.
The Mandalorian himself will be playing the character of Joel Miller. And his former co-star, back when he was, a Game of Thrones alumni, what's her name? Oh my God. She played Lyanna Mormont in Game of Thrones. Her name is Bella Ramsey, will be playing the role of Ellie. So it's a Game of Thrones reunion for these guys. They're going back to HBO and and picking up right where they left off on the series. But just looking at the pair there, what do you think? What are your thoughts on Joel and Ellie?
Don't hate it.
Don't hate it. All right.
I don't hate it. But here's what I'm going to say. I'm this way with certain actors. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Timothy Olyphant. I don't fuck say his last name.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, he's Seth Bullock. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? He's fucking Seth Bullock from Deadwood. You can whatever, dude. I don't fucking give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna be the same with old Pat Below here.
So you're only going to see what, the Mandalorian?
I'm only gonna see him as Mando, dude. I don't know,
But
maybe
but
not.
because
Maybe
of
break
the
from
helmet,
that.
because of the helmet, you're the face won't.
But the couple times you get to see his face.
The twice in the two seasons.
There's three times.
Once in the first season, and then twice in the second season because of the Imperial when they were at the thing, and then again with the Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
With Bill Burr. Yeah.
Yes.
And Bill Burr's like, I didn't see your face.
Yeah.
Bill Burr's awesome. Right?
Yeah.
But anyway, but I'm just saying, and his voice too. He's got.
Well, they digitally alter it for the Mandalorian. Like, I mean, it's his voice, but it's tweaked a bit. Because, like, even when I saw him in Wonder Woman 84, like, I know he's the Mandalorian. I know that. But listening to his voice, for me, there was a distinct difference between, Maxwell Lord and Mando. You know?
I haven't seen Wonder Woman 84 yet. I heard it sucked.
You blocked it out from your memory. That's what...
I just like, it fucking sucks.
It was so bad. You saw it, and you immediately deleted it from your memory banks. So.
No, because this is the beauty of this job, is you watch it and tell me how bad it fucking sucks. I'm not gonna waste my time and money on it.
There you go. That's
you know what I mean?
That's what I do for the people. I sacrifice my time and my brain for you, the people.
Dude. You were fucking foaming at the mouth for that motherfucker for like a year, dude. You're like,
I was excited about it. I thought it was going to be good.
Came out and you're just like fucking.
Yeah, I really, that's sad. I don't want to go. Let's not dredge up the past.
See, you do, not all the time, but sometimes you do exactly what I try not to do.
Yeah.
That is get excited about it.
Mm-hmm. I can't help it. I can't help it.
I just let it come, dude. And that way when it sucks, it's like, nah.
I can't help it, man. I'm a fan of the genre. I cannot help myself to be excited. Justice League was a train wreck of a movie. I'm excited to watch the Snyder cut. I know here's the thing. It's just the 2 hours we saw with 2 hours of other stuff that we didn't see. I know it's probably going to still be a hobbled mess. Still excited to see it. It's going nowhere, right? This is the end of that universe. They've basically said it's done, it's dead, we're moving on. We're not doing more Justice Leagues of this genre, of this kind. Still want to see it. Still excited to see it. I can't help myself. Pete asked, any news about the Assassin's Creed show? Nothing recently, man. I'm going to take a note. I'm going to dig into that. Radar, take a note.
Don't tell me to take notes. I will fucking remember anyway.
You are my secretary on this show. Take notes. I got to dig into Spawn. I got to find out what's up with Spawn, and I got to find out what's up with Assassin's Creed. That's my homework. But yeah, I haven't heard anything lately as far as the show. I know. I think the latest was that they were doing it for Netflix. That they're shopping it around. That it's got the green light, but that there's nobody attached to it. No dates, no starts, no nothing.
I went to type in Assassin's Creed and I got Apollo Creed. Not so bad. It's fucking.
I mean, there's worse. When you type in words like assassin, like there's way worse things that could have popped up than Apollo Creed. Assassins. So yeah. So that's where we're at with the Joel and Ellie. Yeah. What's up?
2016 film?
No, not the Michael Fassbender movie. That was bad. That was not good. They're working on I think it's Netflix is developing a live action pilot for a TV series for Assassin's Creed. Anyway, moving on. Oh, last I'll say about HBO's The Last of Us. There's still no release date. The idea is that it's going to be as gritty and emotionally of a journey as the video game was. Obviously, it's a longer format story, very much kind of like the way they interpreted Game of Thrones for TV. That's what they're doing with the game. So, yeah, that should be good. Hope again. I hope. I hope that is the hope. more exciting news. More exciting news. For all of you geeks out there, guys like me, nerds that love this stuff, super exciting news. We've talked about it many times. G4 Network is coming back. G4 is back. But we can now officially confirm that both Adam Sessler of X-Play and Kevin Pereira of Attack of the Show are officially returning to the network as well. They are coming back. When we had this conversation before, I said without them, it could be successful. It's just going to be a lot harder of a sell. With them, it's going to be awesome because these guys live it, breathe it, bleed it. They love it. They know it. And they are the best at it. It would be a lot harder to just the way when they got replaced, it was not good. It would be hard to do it with, without them. So Adam Sessler has been a huge part of G4's relaunch, beginning with the first teaser from last year. They've been shooting a bunch of promotional stuff to kind of get people excited for it. They've done. They even did a game review of Cyberpunk 2077, which was not good. In the new version of X-Play, Sessler will review games while inviting guests from across the gaming to talk about the industry at large. Kevin Pereira is also making his return to Attack of the Show, in which he was one of the original cast members. They've also, teased that there's no word from his former co-host. And now while he's obviously had many co-hosts, they're probably referring to Olivia Munn, who's now, a movie star, actress, and probably not going to come back to do Attack of the Show. Let's be honest.
Right.
She's a bona fide, I wouldn't say, she's a movie star. She's been in multiple movies. She was in The Magic Mike. She was in, X-Men. She was in Predator. She was in Iron Man. She had a small cameo role in Iron Man. So I think you can call that a legit movie star now, right? Maybe not an A-lister, but movie star, right? What do you think? Does that qualify?
I guess.
Screw you, Radar. She's a movie star.
Well, but I'm just saying, whatever.
But yeah,
basically an extra. Like, you're a movie star from that shit. Did you even get paid?
She was the star of X-Men: Age of Apocalypse. She was Psylocke. She was kind of a pivotal role. Movie was terrible.
Movie star than us, but
let me
put it this way: we've talked to bigger. Well, you have. I sat here and let's do it.
I've talked to Olivia. She's a lovely lady.
I would talk to her too.
I would love to have her on the show someday.
I don't know, but
I'm not knocking people, Radar. You're just trying to cut ties with everybody. You're just trying to burn all our bridges today.
I'll see you, Michael J. Fox.
you're just burning all our bridges today, man. You are on it.
I'm such an asshole right now though, because if Michael J. Fox called us up, I'd be like, hi, sir.
Imagine the phone rings like, hello. Like, this is Michael J. Fox. I don't find this amusing at all. Like, oh no.
Well, very few people actually find me amusing, so
yeah.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
November 25th, Assassin's Creed allegedly is coming out.
November 25th.
According to November 25th.
And that's on Netflix, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
There you go, Pete. The latest we have. I'll dig more into it. I'll get some real intel.
I just Googled it.
But
Google.
apparently...
Assassin's Creed Netflix release date, November 25th.
November 25th. That is when you can expect, or like Radar says, don't get excited about it. You can expect to not get excited about it.
Are we getting excited? Are you getting excited about it? Are we excited about this?
I want to be excited about it. I want to be.
Want to be?
I haven't gotten enough intel yet about who's involved. What's the storyline? Because I got excited about the Assassin's Creed movie. It had Michael Fassbender in it.
Oh.
It was bad. It was
bad.
So bad.
I
didn't finish it. I got an hour in and I was like, I give up.
It was so bad. I don't think I ever played the video game after I watched it.
It ruined the video game series for you? That's how bad the movie was?
Video game for me.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's terrible. There's some really good games, man. There's some really good games.
No,
I will say.
I kind of got more into other things about that.
All right.
It's fun to say.
Speaking, here's a great segue. I get the Segue of the Year award. Speaking of video games that later become series/movies, according to a new report, PlayStation Productions, which is like how Marvel started making its own movies, PlayStation decided they're going to start making their own property. PlayStation Productions is making a Twisted Metal series. Remember Twisted Metal, the video game? Cars, destructions, explosions. You drove in a car that shot missiles and chainsaws and blew up people and like the Eiffel Tower, and it was crazy. Twisted Metal was a crazy fever dream of a video game that I loved so much. And they're making a series. Twisted Metal, the TV series, is being produced by PlayStation Productions. And if rumors are to be believed, got this little picture. Famous face Will Arnett has been tapped to be the voice of Sweet Tooth. You know, the main one of the main characters of the Twisted Metal universe, the ice cream truck driver, clown face, head on fire person. I don't know what the name is other than Sweet Tooth. So apparently it's a voiceover because it's probably going to be like CGI, and I don't think they're going to light his head on fire for the role. So most likely just the voice, because why put him in a clown head and light him on fire?
That sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
In addition to this, the show reportedly offered Anthony Mackie of Falcon fame as the lead role of John, while Kumail Nanjiani has also been considered for a role in some other capacity. In addition to this update, they've also divulged first details about the adaptation, or at least alleged details, right? Because this is all hush-hush on the inside, whatever. The report says the series is a high-octane action comedy. Get the pun there? High-octane? Because, octane is gas, and vehicles drive gas. Yeah, little inside pun. It revolves around an outsider trying to make a better life for himself, which leads him to being tasked with delivering a mysterious package across a post-apocalyptic wasteland with the company of a trigger-happy car thief. How that ties into Twisted Metal, I don't know. Yes, Chris, Twisted Metal, yes. The report continues that, noting on this journey, the outsider will come in conflict with marauders with vehicles capable of intense destruction, which is, where Sweet Tooth comes into play with his famous ice cream truck. Now, again, I stipulate this is all speculative based on notes and insider gossip and casting calls and different things. The first mention of a Twisted Metal TV series goes back to May of 2019. However, Sony has formally said nothing about it since then. So who knows? That's the latest. We've Mike says, so Transformers with no transforming or Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, pretty much. And instead you got Will Arnett voicing a silly clown on fire driving an ice cream truck.
That's what I've always wanted.
Pretty much. That's where we are with that.
I'm glad you're excited for it.
Hey,
so you can watch it and tell me it sucks, and I won't waste my time with it.
Somebody's got to be excited for it. Somebody.
Well, no, we don't. This is what they should have learned from Sonic.
In what way? I want to follow your logic here. In what way?
Okay. You said somebody's got to be excited for it. No, we don't.
Mm-hmm.
If this is gonna fucking suck, we don't got to be excited for it. We don't.
I thought Sonic was okay.
This is probably gonna fucking suck. Don't fuck it up. Do this instead, and they will fucking fix it.
I mean, your first red flag is it's being made by PlayStation Productions. That's got to be your first red flag. I mean, this isn't a serious studio with, people that know what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I get that, but why? Okay. Some of the best movies that I can think of off the top of my head don't come from the biggest blockbuster production companies out there, right? Think of movies like The Whole Nine Yards. Okay, it was a really good film. It was very well produced, I think. Very good story. It was funny, captivating in a lot of ways. Didn't come from a big fucking film place, right?
Yeah.
It was like fuck kind of indie film, right? I think that's why a lot of these like kind of like I don't know low budget films actually get a lot of traction, get a lot because they're forced to tell a story. They're forced to entrap you into things other than big action scenes,
CGI and explosions.
Exactly. They're forced to tell you a story and make you involved in other ways, right? To captivate you and to make their audience want to see it without having all the fucking hoopla of a Marvel type film,
Sure.
right? And we'll go with Marvel and Star Wars and fucking and what other chick ones too. It doesn't have to be them. It could, you know what I mean? There could be like, there's all these different companies, right? Fast and the Furious is another one. Keep churning out whatever, and they don't have to try. They just kind of keep putting out the same thing.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
Honestly, like I said, like when we talked earlier about Marvel movies, like look how many of these they're the same kind of storyline. Like you have the hero and the villain come out very early. They're very clear cut who they are.
Yeah.
Right.
They have some type of emotional connection or personal connection. Sure. Their powers are based loosely off of each other. They have pretty matched skill sets and powers. Yep.
Yep. And hero initially starts to lose to villain. Villain has the upper hand at the beginning, and then hero switches around at the end of the movie. Heroes win, right? It's the same course through every film, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could probably say Endgame's a little bit different.
I mean, the majority. We're saying the majority.
Yeah, I mean, it's this. It all follows the same sort of timeline, the same sort of whatever. You know what I mean?
The same three-arc structure, and overcome the villain and yada yada yada.
Right. And so we watch that. We know what's going to happen. You know all the things. You see the explosions. You see the fights. You see the fight scenes. You see the actors and whatever. Blah blah blah. You know what's going to happen. But we still watch it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, and they have the following. They have people want to see it, right? But if you have something like kind of an indie film, okay, in order to make people want to see it, you have to stand out. You have to have something, right? And you don't have the budget for all the CGI. You don't have the budget for all these things, right? So you make a good film. You have a good story, good production. Decent actors because you can't afford A-listers, right? So you have all of these things that make it where people want to see it, and it makes it good, right? I mean, and if you look at the first Fast and the Furious, that's how it was. It was good.
Yeah, it actually was a good. It was a pretty good. It was great, but it was good. It was good.
But it wasn't just all about fucking car chases, right?
I mean,
it actually had kind of a story behind it, and you got into the story.
Yeah, there was a little mystery to it, and sure, yeah.
And then by like the fifth one, and now they're in like the 25th or some shit. I don't fucking know. But I mean, American Pie was the same way, right? American Pie when it first came out it was good. It had a good story.
Revolutionary. It was the first of its kind. Yeah. Yeah,
and then they tell fucking 40 of them. You're like, this is fucking garbage.
Right. I gotta call out some comments here because these are just too good not to pass up. First of all, Heath, how can anyone deny the greatness of Street Fighter the movie? Oh my God, that movie is so bad, but somehow so good because of how bad it is. Have you not seen Street Fighter the movie, Radar?
I wasted my time on that bullshit.
It's so bad, but it's like it comes all the way around. Like if it was on a spectrum, right? It goes so far to bad that it somehow double backs on good. Like it's weird. It's weird because it's so bad. It's so bad.
Is it like Napoleon Dynamite or something? Like
kind of. I feel like Napoleon Dynamite though was on purpose. Whereas Street Fighter, it's like they tried to make a real serious Street Fighter movie that was just terrible. Terrible. And Heath, if you're interested in that kind of movie, there's some really great like documentaries on like behind the scenes, what happened, how it became so bad, that it's super fascinating actually. We won't get into it here, but it's super fascinating. Scott said Fast and Furious is the movie equivalent to Call of Duty. and I've
Yes.
never been so on board with something. It is
100% agree.
so spot on.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. And it's I mean, you know, people call it the Marvel formula, like why Marvel movies are successful and that they're all almost exactly the same. But that's I mean, when you can't blame them. When you find a formula that works and people will pay you money to reproduce the same formula, we can't then get mad at them for reproducing the same formula.
No, not at all. What I said earlier is I'm not at all faulting them. I'm
Right.
not. I'll be like, this is bullshit. I'm not going to watch a Marvel movie ever again. I'm still going to watch them. I'm so, and I go in there knowing what's going to, you know what I mean. We still fucking do it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and
Right.
this leads in perfectly. Cause cashing checks based on their reputation or brand name, and then putting out substandard products will eventually alienate the fans. And I could not agree more. And I feel like Marvel has done a good job of, you know, keep what works and try to improve the areas they can improve. Right? We've gotten much better villains over the last couple movies. When you talk about Loki and Thanos and Michael B. Jordan when he played what's his name, the Golden Leopard. I can't think of the name right now. But you know these villains that are much more. I think Zemo in Civil War was a much richer character, and I think that's something that was lacking in the first couple movies. You know, you look back all the original movies, like all the villains are all generic bad guy, blah blah blah, like you were saying. Very much the Fast and the Furious. It's like every movie, it's like, all right, who's the villain this time? And then the next movie, the villain ends up joining the team and he becomes one of the heroes. And it's like, wait, what? What is happening? That guy just tried to murder you with a building. And now you guys are like, all right, we're family, you know?
You understand us.
You get it. We're part of the family. Chris says Mortal Kombat was a great movie. Mortal Kombat. The second one, no. Second one was absolute garbage. Now, they're making I'm looking forward to this Mortal Kombat remake. I feel like they're doing a good job with this one. And I'm willing to bet it's actually a decent movie. Maybe not the greatest movie, but I think it's going to be a good movie. But yeah, the original Mortal Kombat movie, I was a big fan. Again, it was, I mean, Mortal Kombat. I got it. I got hyped off that, man. That was the shit back in the day. That one and Spawn. Those were my movies, man. Y'all talking my language. Scott says I like Halo Nightfall. I was hoping we'd have gotten an actual Master Chief movie. Oh yeah. They did like some, those were like the anime spin-offs or whatever you call them that they did. Let's see, was it Tekken the movie? Oh, I'm not even gonna talk about Tekken the movie. Screw that. Killmonger. Thank you. Yes, it was Killmonger. All about the family. Yes, that's what we hear in the show. We're just all about the family. You guys are part of the Pop Culture War family. We ride or die.
We ride or die.
We ride or die here at Pop Culture Warrior. It's all about the family. God, that was terrible.
But that's what it's like, though. We're bullshit about, but that's exactly what it's like.
That's what it is. And yes, Chris, man, soundtrack Mortal Kombat was the bomb. Yes, it was. I might put that shit into my like outro music. I mean, that's good hype music, man. Get hype off that. Mario Brothers, best game movie ever. Mike, I know you're being sarcastic. That movie, which I hate how bad that movie was. That Mario Brothers movie, because I do adore John Leguizamo as an actor, Puerto Rican guy, from my hood. What was his name? Bob. God, what was his name? Shit, he did Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and he did Mario and the terrible Mario Brothers movies. Forget his name. Very good actor, actually great actor, and loved him in a lot of his stuff. But yeah, that movie was god awful. That god awful movie. And Popeye. Pete's talking about Popeye with man. I watched a documentary about Robin Williams and Popeye. He was so proud of that movie for it to be so bad and so just torn to shreds in the media and in critics and all that. Yeah, I mean, oof. It's poor Robin Williams. He really was passionate about bringing that character to life, and that movie was bad. That movie was real bad. Bob Hoskins. That's it. Thank you, Mike. Bob Hoskins was the actor from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Baskins?
Hoskins. Bob
Baskins.
Hoskins, not Baskin Robbins. Bob Hoskins.
Carol fucking Baskin.
Pac-Man will make a great movie. Doc, come on. Doc Derek. Pac-Man will make a great movie. They did what was the movie Adam Sandler did? The video game one. Pixels or something like that. Where like aliens copied old retro video games and attacked, and they had to like get the best Pac-Man player in the world to like fight the alien. Such a stupid premise. But yeah, I think after that, I think Pac-Man will never ever be on the big screen ever again. After that,
That's unfortunate.
yeah, after that whole nonsense.
I'll watch it.
Oh man, you guys are awesome. Y'all just throwing in all these old movies. I love it, man. We're talking Tremors. What a Bob the
Fucking
Builder.
Tremors. Hey, Tremors. Hey now. You should be able to talk shots of Tremors now.
No. Chris says, Kevin Bacon thought Tremors was his career ender, but Tremors was awesome. That's what he's saying. Tremors was awesome.
All right.
Calm down, Radar. Calm down. Down,
Hey,
Radar.
I'll defend some Tremors now. That was all right, but okay, it wasn't great.
Maybe not the
But it was
greatest
good.
movie.
Don't you gotta remember, like, when that came out, dude, that was like, fuck Tremors. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
now it's fucking kind of ridiculous as you look back.
I
on it,
mean, as most 80s movies are, you know.
but, yeah. I mean, but
Good
it's like
times.
dinosaurs. You know what I mean? Someone in the comments was something about dinosaurs, and that was coming back. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like on. It's like it's on one of them. Is it Disney Plus?
Yeah,
that's
Disney
on?
Plus. Disney Plus is now showing.
Yeah.
I read an article and they're like, now a whole new generation can be traumatized by the show Dinosaurs on Disney
See,
Plus.
I liked it when I was a child. When I was a tot, I liked it. Right?
It was. I thought it was hysterical as a kid.
It was-
I thought it was a hysterical show.
But see, okay, we had my 4-year-old here the other day, right?
Mhm.
And it was on there, and she wanted to watch it, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's watch dinosaurs." Everyone else in my house, I was like, "That guy's creepy. Why do I want to watch that? That's creepy." I'm like, it's the fucking dinosaurs. I even looked at my wife, and I was like, "You don't like dinosaurs?" Like, I thought that guy was creepy. I'm like, "You mean not the mama? That's what his fucking name is. Not the dad, not the mama." Yeah, Mike Larson. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. Like, fucking, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
But could they remake it? Could they remake it?
Could they?
Think about that.
I feel like they could remake it, but it would just be worse.
It'd be worse.
It'd be worse.
Because they would try to.
They wouldn't do it right. They wouldn't do it. Was it puppetronics? Like the puppet. Animatronic things. They would like CGI it or animate it, and it would just
Yeah, and it would make it
be
bad.
terrible.
I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, it's kind of one of those things. Like, just leave, like Alf. Like, just leave the fuck alone.
Yeah,
it's good the
there's
way.
just certain things you just it's just it's another great reason to subscribe, Radar, to Disney Plus. Not the
I have
mama.
Disney Plus.
It's like
Anything I'm watching WandaVision and shit by not having Disney Plus. Like, I don't know if people want from me. I have Disney Plus.
stop not having Disney Plus. I don't care how many times you say you have it. Stop not having it.
I will stop not having it. I'll go upstairs and I'll watch it. Actually, I won't.
I'll watch it right now.
I won't because I'm in the basement. I'm in my bunker.
Yeah, in the radar cave.
Yeah.
So something else coming out, or in the talks. Again, we're in the now we're in the speculation and rumor mill part of the show here. But a live action Harry Potter TV series is apparently in the works for HBO Max, and I mean obviously it'd be HBO Max because it's the whole property's owned by Warner Brothers, and HBO Max and Warner Brothers are connected. Whatever. There's an article where they noted that there's several conversations in the very early stations, no writers, no talent currently attached, but that at the moment it appears as though executives at HBO Max and Warner Brothers are actively working on a way to bring the Harry Potter franchise to TV or your streaming device. And they are listening to pitches from various writers about how they can make that happen. At this time, there's no concrete answer or direction. What concerns me, this is something that concerns me about Hollywood. If you read between the lines, they're not saying, hey, we've got this great idea on how to make a Harry Potter series. They have, hey, we own this great this great property called Harry Potter. We want to put it on TV. Pitch us your ideas on what it should be. That makes me nervous. Because you're not saying, like, this is what we want to do. Kind of like what Marvel does, where they're like, again, I hate bringing it back to Marvel, but there's such a clear example of, we have these characters, we have this idea of how they're going to connect and how they're going to, what they're going to be out in the world, and we'll find people that are able to take that vision and make it a reality. Instead, like, that's your top-down methodology. Instead, they're going like bottom up and going, hey, we own this property, give us some ideas on how to use it. And while that could be great, it also kind of alienates everything that's come before it because it's not a collective vision. Yeah, what do you guys talk about after he appears in Spider-Man 3? Yes, everybody and their mama is going to be in Spider-Man 3, apparently. I do have a story about that a little further on. We'll maybe get to. Read it and replace the word. Oh my God. Someone ruined Harry Potter for me. They said read it, but replace the word wand with penis. That is not suggestible.
The whole thing. That's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. That would probably.
I'd recommend it. I'd recommend it in a heartbeat. Go do it.
Will Spider-Man 3 have Spider-Ham? No, they will not. But you can see Spider-Ham in Spider-Universe and the sequel Into the Spider-Universe Part 2, whatever the hell they're going to call it. Electric Boogaloo. See, this is another way for companies trying to cash in on their brand, due to COVID. Yes, definitely. So moving past Harry Potter, one that I'm very excited about is the latest in the rumors. It's been back and forth. We've seen it both. I've seen reports both ways, but the latest report suggests that Marvel Studios is considering bringing back John Bernthal as Frank Castle, the Punisher. They're reportedly in talks to bring him back to play the character, not to be associated with what Netflix did, but the true, whatever you want to call it, MCU faithful version, bringing him into the fold as opposed to being on his own. It's the latest report says it will be him, it will be the character, but that this will set as a kind of a reboot with no ties to the Netflix history or what happened in the Netflix show. So whether they retell his story or whether they completely ignore it and they might just pick up like, hey, episode 1, he's the Punisher, kicking ass. Don't ask questions. Don't worry about where he came from or why or how. He's just the Punisher and he's kicking ass. So
don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions. He's the Punisher. He'll punish you. So it says nothing's been confirmed yet, but if the rumors end up being true, the decision to reboot this character could be interesting. It also pretty much confirms that if actors like Charlie Cox, Finn Jones, Mike Coulter, Kristen Ritter were to join the MCU, their backstories would be considered non-canon. There have been rumors that Charlie Cox was going to reprise his role of Matt Murdock to play like Peter Parker's, defense attorney in the Spider-Man movies. I mean, again, it's all speculative. None of it's been confirmed, but I just thought it'd be super cool. I'm a big John Bernthal fan. I think what he did with the Punisher was awesome. And I think given the real Marvel treatment, it could be pretty badass what they could do. Yes. And what Mike says, Punisher is set to show up in Spider-Man 3, kill everyone who cameos in the movie, and it'll actually be a good Spider-Man movie. There you go. That's one way to take it. And in closing with that, I've got a couple more pieces for you, and then we'll call it a night. Hang in there, guys. We're the home stretch. I know, sad to see it go, but let's switch over. Let's talk movies for a second. How about that?
All right.
Let's talk movies. Let's talk some movies. Let's see what stories we got for the movies. First, we have our first official look behind the scenes, here are some photos of Thor, Love and Thunder. So you can see the photos to my left. I guess you're right. A Chris Hemsworth looking just absolutely jacked. I mean, he's really going for broke. I
miss Fat Thor.
I miss Fat Thor. I read a thing where Chris Hemsworth body double was like, dude, you need to stop. You're gonna kill me. You're going to kill me. I can't get any bigger. Yeah, so he's apparently going for it. Ooh, Hemsy. Yes, good. So in the pictures, you can see Thor. You can see Chris Pratt's Star-Lord. At the bottom, you can see Nebula. You can see, what was his name was Crag or whatever. That's Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother, who also is the body double for Rocket Raccoon. So yeah, so we're starting to see a little bit, and you can see Stormbreaker in the one picture. He's holding Stormbreaker in his hands. It's interesting. It's interesting. I should have grabbed it, because his costume, Thor's costume, the cut off jean, red black jacket and denim jeans, that's a look straight from the comics, believe it or not. And it was a very interesting take of Thor. Here, tell me your thoughts based on just the images. Well, I'm going to try to pull something up here. What do you think? What do you see?
I have to wait for it. We have a delay, remember?
No. I'm asking based on what you're seeing right now, the image that's up.
Oh, on the screen right now?
Yeah. The background, the behind the scenes look.
I don't know. Fucking Thor. My wife's gonna want to watch it. I know that much.
So that's your take on it.
I liked it better when Thor was fat. I'd be like, I'm built like a superhero too.
Like, I look just like Thor.
I went out to the garage and I don't know, nailed some things together. I'm like, look, baby, I got a fat ass Billy and a hammer. Oh. But no, seriously, like, I don't know. He looks fine, I guess. He looks like Thor's supposed to look. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like Thor's the fucking god of thunder. He's supposed to fucking, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't. Of course, when I want to pull it up quickly, I can't find it. But there's an image pulled straight from the comics. This look he had where it was like it was the cut off jeans, and the hair is actually short and spiky and whatnot. But oh man, I wish I could find it. But actually, it's kind of. It's not the image I was hoping for, but let's see if I can't pull it in here. Sorry guys, I'm just winging this shit now.
I don't know. What do you really think about it though? I mean, like, he's back to his old self.
I mean, yeah, they weren't going to keep him fat.
A whole lot. Like they can't really tell a whole lot by these pictures.
They weren't going to keep him fat. That's I could have, before anything even got announced or showed. I was like, they're not going to keep him fat. They're just not going to happen.
I wouldn't.
you just want to feel better about yourself. That's why.
I mean, that's way better. I want him to be fat so I don't have to like work out.
All right, there you go. So this is.
But if he's hot, then at least I go take my wife to watch it, and then she'll get a lady boner, and then we can go home. And
yeah.
Hammer.
The Rob Liefeld look, yeah, that's what he's saying. You just want to feel good about yourself, you know. Like I'm as fit as a god. But yeah, from this image you can kind of see he's got the cut off jean jacket and he's wearing jeans. He had like the old school, Thor chest plate or whatever. Kind of the short spiky hair. But I think that's where they're getting the look for this character, this version of the character. But yeah, they're not gonna keep him fat. I do agree with somebody said, is this Scott? He wants like a montage of Thor cutting the weight. I think a Rocky themed montage of him going from like fat Thor to in shape Thor would be awesome. I think hysterically awesome. Because as we've seen, it shouldn't be a magical fix. At the end of Endgame, when he decided to become badass Thor again, he was still fat. he was fighting Thor. He was fighting Thor as fat as fuck. So Oh, see there, see
Yeah.
there's the image. Now
I'm
when
not gonna call him fat as fuck. I'm gonna say radar-esque.
he was relatively whatever you want. He was pleasantly plump Thor, you can call it.
Yeah.
Um
Okay, he wasn't fat as fuck because that means I'd be fat as fuck.
I
and
mean
I'm not skinny. No
um
one would confuse me for. But see, I'm not fat, but I can put the brakes on an orgy.
yes,
You know what I
it
mean?
was
Like,
definitely fat. I can put dude, I'm gonna make a whole list of your sayings. So yeah, so there's the shot of Thunderstrike, the version of Thor that was like this rock and roll god look thing to him. And I definitely get that vibe based off of the set pictures of what we're getting. Thick Thor. You guys are hilarious. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Got the best fans in the world, I tell you. Okay, so that's Thor. Second thing I was going to bring up was the fact that we've talked about this time and time again with Spider-Man 3 right around the corner. There's so many rumors that everybody and their mama is going to appear in this movie. That it's basically a live-action version of Into the Spider-Verse, right? We're going to... What are we saying? We're going to get all these villains from all these other movies. They talked about Electro, Jamie Foxx's Electro, Jason, what's his name? Jason Malonia, not no, Alfred Malonga, whatever the hell his name was. The guy that played Doc Ock in the second Spider-Man movie. Alfred Molina. Jesus Christ, I couldn't. So we've had all those speculations, and everybody's been saying like, oh, Andrew Garfield has been seen on the set of Spider-Man Tobey Maguire was seen in Atlanta where they're filming the thing and all these things. Well, Tom Holland, our current Spider-Man, is firmly denying any rumors of the involvement of Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield reprising their roles as Spider-Man. He is saying he's currently promoting his movie Cherry, and of course, when you promote one thing, they'll ask you about other thing. So they've been asking him all about these rumors about what's going to happen and this and that, and he basically outright said, "No, they are not appearing in this film unless," he says, "they've hidden the most massive piece of information from me." Which I think is too big a secret even to keep from me. Because, of course, he has a bad habit of spoiling. He's terrible at spoiler keeper secrets. But he says, as of yet, no, this is a continuation of the Spider-Man movies we've been making. Has nothing to do with Spider-Man movies that have been done already. So, one, he could absolutely be lying through his teeth and trying to keep this massive secret close to the chest. Very possible. They've done it before. I mean, you can literally Google it. There's tons of clips of actors and actresses saying like, no, I'm not playing that character. Oh my God. Most famously when, what was it? Star Trek Beyond, when they're like, oh, so you're, what's his name? The guy that played Benedict Cumberbatch. So you're playing Khan. He's like, no, I'm playing Officer James, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, but we're pretty sure you're playing Khan. He's like, no, I'm not playing Khan. And then in the movie, I'm Khan. And you're like, oh wow, that was shocking.
Yay,
Super shocking. Or was it Batman Dark Knight Rises? I can't say everybody, but a lot of the geek culture knew that what's her name was playing Talia al Ghul, or the daughter, one of the daughters, Tatiana al Ghul or Tierra al Ghul, or one of the al Ghul daughters. And she was like, no, I'm not playing an Al Ghul. No. And in the movie, I'm the daughter of Al Ghul. And it was like, oh, wow, shocker. Anyway, so there is the possibility that Tom Holland is completely lying out his teeth. Then again, there's just I do feel they're filming Spider-Man right now. I shouldn't say I feel. They are filming Spider-Man right now. I feel if something as massive as having Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield reprise their roles as Spider-Man, I feel like Marvel would have said something already. I feel like Sony would have said something already. I feel like they would have been like shouting it from the rooftop, like, y'all need to see this movie. We about to make the craziest thing you've ever seen. Now, that being...
Or I feel like
Mhm.
if they wouldn't have, even if they didn't say anything about it, there's enough fucking paparazzi and shit that somebody would have sent a picture of him, like, you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
would do it.
Yeah, there's been lots of rumors saying, people saying, oh, I've seen them around town, or I've seen them nearby. And there's no pictures. There's no proof. But I will also say,
Bigfoot.
yeah, people have seen Loch Ness and Bigfoot. To play devil's advocate here, Tom Holland himself has said, they've misdirected us in the past. When they shot the scene at the end of Endgame, we see the big funeral scene for Tony Stark. A bunch of the cast had said, we were told we were shooting a wedding scene. Like, that's what they were being told. They were saying, they're like, oh, look at this, and why they had to be sad about it. Like, that was the whole thing. It was because you're saying bye to these characters or whatever. And like, but they were being told they were filming this wedding scene right up until the moment. They're like, oh no, by the way, Tony Stark's dead. And this is the scene where you're at the funeral.
Yeah. But okay, you can flip flopping scenes, right?
Mhm.
So it's a wedding, not a funeral, blah blah blah. It's a whole lot different than a motherfucker being on set in front of the camera. You know what I mean?
True.
Like,
True.
That's a stretch.
But again, playing devil's advocate, knowing Tom Holland is the worst at keeping secrets, you could film all his stuff up front.
Mhm.
And then, like, okay, you're done, little boy, go home, and then have
Matthew.
time, Andrew Garfield and okay, I keep saying these names so many times, I'm getting myself confused. But you can have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield come in and shoot their stuff separately. And if you say, well, you can't do that because blah, blah, if you remember Endgame, the scene where Spider-Man is holding the Infinity Gauntlet and all the fucking woman power people come in and he like hands it off and he's like, oh my God, you guys are, he wasn't there. They filmed that completely separate. Those are two different shoots. You had all the women, well, not even all the women. I think 3 of the women weren't even there. They had to put them in post, but Spider-Man wasn't there. And then some of the women weren't there. And then they just kind of shot all separately and put it together. I think you could, in theory, do the same thing with the world's worst person of keeping secrets, Tom Holland. If you don't want him blurting it out, like, shoot his stuff separate and shoot their stuff separate. And I mean, again, I do feel the rational thought process is they have nothing to do with the movie. As much as we all want it to be true, as much as I badly want this to be true, at best, maybe they have a cameo. Maybe there's just this weird moment where it's like there's a ripple in the time-space continuum, and you kind of just see Andrew Garfield, and so they'll shoot their stuff like on a green screen or a backdrop, and has nothing to do with Tom Holland, and then they just in the editing make it look whatever. But yeah, I would love. Nothing would make me happier than a cameo by the other Spider-Man. Yeah, CGI. Yeah, I mean, you absolutely could. And the fact is, because Sony owns the rights to all these characters, I mean, I think their likeness in perpetuity, you could CGI the other Spider-Man into this movie without getting authorization of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, as long as you don't show their face, right? If it's just the suit, a person in the suit, if they could CGI those suits into the movie without even needing Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire, maybe get them to do a voiceover if you so feel inclined. But like, you don't even have to have them.
If you're gonna bring him in and do a voiceover, you might as well do their face.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have their permission then.
I'm sure. Well, he's up on the third hour. Yeah, we're coming to a close. I know they're adding in these. Everyone believes. You guys are funny. And a last bit of news, just because it kind of ties into Spider-Man and whatnot. There's been a lot of talk about these other Spider-Man movies that are like the villain movies, right? We had Venom already happen. Venom 2 is happening. We know Jared Leto shot Morbius. That's, again, should have been out if not for COVID, but that's coming out. The next one, apparently, that they're working on is Kraven the Hunter. And it's basically being described as a mashup between an R-rated action, I'm reading this wrong. it's a mashup of like the R-rated action dramas like Man on Fire and Logan. Like if you kind of mash those together, that would be the what they're shooting for with Raven. Right now, the front runner, the person they're trying to lock in to be Kraven the Hunter, Keanu Reeves, John Wick himself. And I
like this.
I do have a kind of here as a side by side comparison of what Keanu Reeves Kraven or would look like, but someone did like a take on it. It wasn't that great. But yeah, my inside sources, my digging says he's gonna pass. He's not gonna do it. And they've already started doing kind of who's next on the list, and there's a couple names I'm looking into to see if they're legitimately on the list. But this is who they wanted. And Kevin Feige has literally come out and said, look, we talked to Keanu Reeves about every project that comes up. We try to get him into any character he even sort of resembles. And he's passed up every opportunity so far. He's waiting for the right thing. He wants to do the right thing.
Of course he is.
And I mean, honestly, I kind of think Kraven would be a waste for him. I really do. I liked him more as when they talked about doing him for like Moon Knight, Mark Spector's Moon Knight. It's a much smaller character, but I Keanu Vision. Well, Christian Bale wouldn't be a bad choice, but Christian Bale's already locked in to do the Marvel movie Thor: Love and Thunder. He's a bad guy in that movie. So it would be weird for him to then jump ship and also be in a Spider-Man spinoff as well. So, I mean, not to say that they can't do it because he's probably all CGI, makeup, prosthetics, so he could easily, switch and do some Kraven shit. But yeah, so just wanted to let you guys know that he was the latest guy talked about. Everything's pointing to he won't do it because he wants to do something else. But he wants to be with Marvel, but this isn't the project that they want. As far as the movie itself, actually, I did find an article where Reeves himself, when they asked him what superhero would you most want to play, it was a BuzzFeed article. He said he's always wanted to play Wolverine. So, if the chance comes, and now this was an article from like years ago, back when Hugh Jackman was still Wolverine, but I think that could be a really cool take on. Now he would have to get real swole, I mean, because you don't want a scrawny Wolverine, but still, I think, I think it could.
I don't hate that idea at all. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I think it could work. And Kevin Feige, the legend behind all this, even said that, look, we talked to Keanu Reeves about everything, and it was the same for like Jake Gyllenhaal. They had approached him multiple times for different projects before he eventually signed on to do Mysterio. So, I mean, eventually Keanu Reeves will be in the Marvel Universe. It's gonna happen at some point. The question is just what project, and I don't think this is gonna be the one. The last thing about the Kraven movie is Sony has tapped the writer behind The Equalizer, Richard Wenk. So they're gonna pull from the classic, of course, Kraven storyline. Kraven's Last Hunt will be kind of the inspiration for this movie. So The Equalizer was a pretty damn good movie. Kraven's Last Hunt, great novelization of the Kraven storyline. So if they got the right guy, I mean, it could be good. I'm the Morbius movie, I'm like, everything I've seen so far, I'm like, I don't think this is gonna be good, but I could be wrong. Well, we'll see. Anyway, that's all I got for you, man. We did it. We did it.
We did it. We did it.
We did it. We did indeed did it. So guys,
I'm just all giddy about. Man, I really want to see Keanu Reeves as Wolverine.
Right. The thought.
I love that idea.
The thought is there. Maybe he's in WandaVision and he comes in the last episode.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yes.
I will say this: both.
Okay. Wanda recreated the Mind Stone, right? Put it in
Sure,
Vision.
sure.
Keanu Reeves comes in last at the end of it as Wolverine, pulls the shit out, plucks the fucking stone from his head.
Wow.
Yes. I
Wow.
love it.
Well,
And then fucking
I will say
Michael
this.
J. Fox comes in
No,
as like,
no.
fuck.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. I'm gonna stop you there. I will mute you. I will say this: Paul Bettany plays Vision, and Elizabeth Olsen, who plays Wanda, both said that there's a cameo of a character, of an actor who they've always wanted to work with, and is gonna blow people's minds. I'm not saying that. I'm just quoting. They said that there's still a scene coming up that will blow people's minds, and that it was an actor or slash actress that they've always wanted to work with and finally got the chance. And yeah, they said it's equal to like the Luke Skywalker appearance at the end of Mandalorian. Like it's that kind of mind blowing cameo. So,
Could it be?
I mean, who? I don't know. We'll see.
Because I mean, well, look, because they've worked. I mean, I guess, like I said, how things are shot, they may not have actually worked with anybody in the market. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
they have, but
It was all shot pre-COVID anyway, so.
right. But what I'm
think
saying is,
shot.
there's some pretty big actors and actresses in the MCU already,
Mhm.
right? Well, the MCU has made some kind of more,
Yeah.
whatever. But what I'm saying is, when you look at that cast, who do you think they want to work with? I'm thinking Keanu Reeves.
Keanu. I've planted the seed and it just sprouted like the Little Shop of Horrors. Feed me.
Or what if Carol Baskin's on there? She goes, we're like walking a tiger or some shit. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I mean, be giddy as fuck. Oh my god, I'll just fuck.
All right, that's it. We've gone into delirium now.
And Carol Baskin is like the actual like fucking villain in WandaVision.
Oh god. All right, well,
and like,
ladies and gentlemen.
Husband and shit.
I'm gonna try to put a button on this thing. We're gonna pin a tail on this thing.
It's got a killing husband. All of a sudden we're done.
So Radar.
Yes.
What's going on with the rest of the week?
Well, tomorrow it's Wednesday. It's our Dawn's day off. They have no scheduled activities. Those of you who live in the South should try to stay warm because it's cold out.
Very cold.
Do that tomorrow. Maybe gather some firewood, or I don't know, shovel your sidewalk or something. I don't know what you do in the snow. I know what I do in the snow, and it's way different than what you all do. So Thursday, Soren's time, ice. I don't know. Is Spanky gonna be there?
Hopefully,
she has some issues. Hopefully, she'll be there. Ice, Spanky, sardining, big sergeant stuff. Army, National Guard, Reserves, retirees. They're talking about all of it. Okay, keeping you in the loop. Friday, kicking it with Cause. It's Friday Night Freedom with Cause. Same guy, different show. Woo! And Pookie's gonna be there too. It's gonna be awesome. Be there. It's gonna love it. Saturday, Sunday. Y'all get the day off for the weekend. We get the day off for the weekend. I want to be at a soccer tournament, but I'm not gonna be in it because I'm old and fat. My kids are gonna be in there. I have to watch them. Monday edition. Ice, Flash. Not the Flash, just Flash. And he's going to be talking about all kinds of current event stuff that y'all should care about because it's important.
Not like this stuff.
Talk about what they talk about because they kind of got zucked. We're not going to talk about that. But anyway, come back. The next night is Tuesdays. That's our night. We're going to be here, and it's going to be awesome. Pop Culture Warrior.
And we're going to be on time next time.
We were here. We just weren't on there.
Yeah, we were here. We were on time.
Yeah, I mean, like even I was
there.
on. I called in, and
I
had
you were
technical
on time.
difficulties that before had prevented me from being on the show. I fixed them. I'm basically like a tech wizard now. Just kidding, I'm not.
Kind of a big deal.
I had to fix settings.
That was awesome. I did have to call out one comment from Scott because it's just right up your alley. Carol Baskin needs to be involved in the current Craven movie, managing some tigers. Craven the Hunter, you know, because he's.
I don't hate it. Don't hate it.
Oh God, you guys are hysterical. Well, guys, we've reached the end of that magical evening. Thank you guys all for hanging in there with us, for chatting with us. This was such a blast. I love spending every Tuesday night with you guys. Always bringing you the latest and greatest. If you've got anything you want to see me cover next week, drop it on the page, man. Drop it on the page. Drop it in the comments here. I will track it. I will dig. I will find. Someone talked about Spawn. I'm going to dig into that. They talked about Assassin's Creed, the TV show. I'm going to dig into that. I'm going to get to the latest and greatest and all the things you want to know about. So, as always, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. And see you next Tuesday. Shots, y'all.
Yeah, see you next Tuesday. That's a bad word.
See you next Tuesday is a bad word?
Yeah, that's the C word. That's how kids spell it out. You never say you know how to do that? You don't have, your kids aren't old enough yet. Just wait.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see where you went with that. How about
Yep. You've never heard that before?
That's new for
Wait till
me.
your kids get older.
You know what?
Like in
You
fifth
ruined
grade.
my sign off. You've ruined my sign off. So instead now I have to go, all right,
Just call me a see you next Tuesday. All right then.
tune in
That's
next week. We'll catch you guys. Shots.